Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. It is Monday the 29th. Can't even see that at the bottom. Monday the 29th of May 2023. I'm looking at these JoyToy Warhammer 40k Iron Hands Space Marines. We've got here Assault Intercessor Sergeant Carlock. Looks pretty cool, but I mean, if you're into the Iron Hands, he's gonna be pretty cool, definitely. But nothing really new to see. Having the two Iron Hands, though, is pretty damn nice. We've got Intercessor Brother Ignar. Nice looking head sculpt in that one, though. Got some pretty good details going on. Look forward to getting that one out in a second. Intercessor Sergeant Bantus. Almost fell over my words there. Now they've got both hands as being metal hands. I thought on the preview pictures we saw only the one was. So this is a step up in the right direction. I guess if both the hands are iron, then you can't really get the wrong one. And we've got Intercessor Brother Gravak even. Again, interesting looking head sculpt. The eye looks pretty menacing. Okay, I'm going to unbox and set them up. But before that, some good news. The Patreon is free for 7 days. So jump on over or go over to the Patreon, link in the top right of your screen now, also in the description. And you can join up. And then after 7 days or 6 days, I'll ask you if you want to pay to continue. And you can say no or you can say yes. It is up to you. But it's good that you can get it for free. Okay, I'll be back in an instant. Okay, here we are. They do look good, but they are really lacking in inking and in highlighting. I mean, they're matte black, but the white raised parts aren't inked. The guns are weathered a little bit, and the swords are too, but the actual Space Marines, there's little of that to be seen, which is a shame. And the other thing that sort of is getting to me about the Space Marine releases, as much as I love them, is all same, just different chapter, different color scheme, the odd thing different here. Now these ones fortunately do have a bit more differences because of their iron hands and whatnot. They're not bad, but these are not the sort of things I got my way to army build unless I was actually into this specific faction, this specific chapter, because everything is so similar now, but you would expect that. Okay, so they all come with, except for one, I'll tell you in a second, spare hands. And when I said both hands they made iron, basically just repainted the Space Marine hands. So you've got the Space Marine hand repainted there, which looks pretty good. You've got the left hand repaint here, which is the proper iron hand, not just the Space Marine iron hand, which is pretty good. And then you've got like two more the Space Marine version ones there. The one that's different is this guy here, because both of his arms are the new Iron Hands arm that we saw in the Tech Marine as well. So he gets two different non-standard Space Marine hands, as opposed to a Space Marine hand that's been repainted, one for each side. He gets the trigger and he gets the grip, and he comes with the trigger and the grip reversed to what I'm holding here. Okay, so let's see what they come with. So the guy on the right also comes with this holster, and he comes with this gun here, and the clip doesn't come out of this one. Next guy here, nothing additional, and the last guy, sorry, they all come with, apart from the first guy, they come with the little pistol again and the holstered version as well, I should say. Okay, now let's get a close look. I'll go from left to right. Pretty nice looking, has to be said. Does look pretty cool. Needs a slightly better indented barrel on that. The hand do look pretty nice. But otherwise, it's mainly the same as we've seen before. But it does look very, very cool. Next one. My favourite, because both his arms are the It's a different style, you can see there. Really good again. Their skill on the paint decals on those eyes are fantastic. Look at that, that could almost be real. Very, very cool indeed. Great big gun, which you've seen already. Nice chainsword again. You look at the pauldron, there's no inking on that. You could ink it yourself, but you expect it to come inked. Whereas you look at the sword, you can see it's a bit darker. It's got some weathering in there, and the gun is a little bit easier to see as well. So, you know, another cutting down on the production costs and the production time, but it's like, oh, come on. Number 3. Very nice again. I do like that pauldron like this. Does look cool. And lastly, the 4th one, and his head just appears to be a almost carbon copy of this guy here, just reversed. It is different, but it looks very similar. Again, really beautiful working on the eye. It just looks so freaky, so real. And again, you can see that it has got some inking on the silver. You can see it on the gun. It's got some weathering. The sword as well, but not much or of anything on him apart from maybe his actual hands. They could have done something on the iron hand on the shoulder pauldron too, but that's just my want and opinion. So let's look at articulation. There is going to be at least one thing different on here because we've got that different arm, but there's differences on the arm as well, but that should be the same as what we have seen previously on the Tech Marine. I will use our first guy here. That's not my favourite. The favourite guy is the one of both these arms. This guy here, I've got his name already. Because I think those having both his arms, it makes it better. Plus, I think it's probably better value for money for doing customs as well. Okay, so the only real change in his articulation are going to be on his arm here. So the nozzles do move on both sides like we've seen previously. Head is the same, left, right, up for forwards, backwards, up, down, and not really side to side. There is ratchet on the shoulders. Doesn't go very far out before it gets stuck. Bicep, depending on where you've got the there's a bicep turn, but depending on where that is will dictate his bicep bend. He's at just over 90 degrees there. Wrist is on the ball, so you can get all directions there. This hand, bicep is under 90. Twist from the bicep. You can twist from the top of the forearm and again from the hand, and it's on the ball. So you've got an extra point of articulation. We kind of needs that because he doesn't get much movement in there. Now the hands are so much nicer than previously. Really easy to grip weapons. This one is slightly stiffer, but still okay. Trunk. Where's his trunk? Come on, trunk. His trunk, there we go. Backwards is great. Forwards okay. Not really side to side, not really turn. Waist and trunk together. Backwards is like amazing. Forwards is alright. It's got a good side to side and you can turn. Hips, not so far before the bulk of the sculpt gets in the way. Forwards is fantastic. Backwards is small, but it's okay. It's got this double kneecap, but it's got these ugly knees you can see behind there, but still very, very tight. And then he has a foot turn, ankle turn. Focus in. There we go. He can go tippy toe, and he can go dorsiflexation, and he gets a toe bend, and also his feet do swivel. So for their bulk, the articulation is actually really quite good. Size is the same as everything else that we've seen that's been pushed out recently. So if I grab my tape measure, because it's all the same sculpt pretty much, you know, the same parts, it's at what, around about 11.7, 12 cm. So they are big boys. I like them. Yeah, would I recommend them? I'd recommend this guy because of the two arms and having the matching hands to go on her two arms. And the others, I think they're nice to add in the shelf. So I would recommend them, but I wouldn't go out of my way to find them because they're so similar to me compared to the other stuff. I know it's a different chapter, they've got their own lore and whatnot. Honestly, a bit more variety, but I do like the look of them. The paint apps on his eyes, or the decals on the eyes, what they're using, are absolutely fantastic. Great looking figures. Now, if by chance you've never seen one of my action figure reviews before, you'll realise I haven't done a comparison. That's because they're the same as the others. And if you haven't, that means I've got to do a comparison now so you can see how big they are. So I'll take a standard 1/18 scale modern figure. That'd be my Boss Fight Studios Sigurd the Wanderer, who is obviously not science fiction, he is fantasy, but he's the great size for 1/18. These guys are 1/18, and you can see that Sigurd the Wanderer has wandered into the wrong place in the wrong time, and he's about to get his head lopped off by the guy behind him. You see how big and bulky these JoyToy Warhammer 40k 1/18 scale figures really are. Nice looking figures. They turned out well, but I want to see some inking on the white parts and a touch of highlighting here and there. Okay, so Awesome Story signing out, saying consider joining the Patreon, link in the video description below, and you can find discount codes as well. And I'll see you next video. Stay happy, keep collecting, like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.